Hello everyone, this is Chandan, and in this video series I'm going to talk about all the myth and propaganda that is revolving around electric vehicles. Is there any truth in those propaganda? And if there is, what is the reality? What is the present condition? And where are we headed in future? So this is what we'll be addressing in this series. So it is important to understand who stands to gain from spreading such propaganda and lies. So the people who stand to gain the most are people who are from a traditional IC engine background. So companies that have been traditionally building components for IC engine manufacturing or IC engine vehicle manufacturing, they stand to struggle when the world shifts towards electric. The second group of people who struggles because of this kind of a transition is the oil manufacturing countries and companies. They stand to lose a lot if the world moves towards electricity. And countries that run on oil or the entire geopolitics is based on oil, they also stand to lose a lot if electric vehicles become mainstream. So it was very important for them to make sure electric vehicles do not take off, and they try their level best from 1990s and even before that. But clear cut control of electric vehicles happened, I would say, in 1990s when the EV1 program was scrapped and the world went back to IC engine vehicles, and it kind of delayed the adoption of electric vehicles for a very long period of time after that. Electric vehicles are more polluting than IC engine vehicles. Is it true or not? Yes. When it is manufactured, electric vehicles are more polluting than a comparable IC engine vehicle because the battery manufacturing creates a lot of CO2 emissions. But take this into account, the energy source that is going to fill the electric vehicle, even if it is coal powered, even if coal is burned to create electricity, in around 35 to 40,000 kilometers, the pollution will be offset. The CO2 excess that was created during manufacturing is basically nullified. Post that point, every kilometer that an electric vehicle runs, it is saving the planet. It is creating less CO2 emissions. So what happens as we go forward with better technologies, more efficient drivetrain, smaller batteries coming in, better chemistries for the batteries, the CO2 impact is consistently going down. And we are identifying methods to actually make vehicles even more efficient, even less in terms of carbon footprint. One problem I have with this argument is that they decided to pick CO2, but conveniently ignored NOx and particulate matters. These are two pollutions that are exclusive to the ICE. So for electric vehicles, there is no NOx emissions, there is no particulate matter coming out of the exhaust. But they had to cherry pick the CO2 because only then they can showcase EVs in a bad light, and which they did. This was corroborated by a study from IIT itself. From IIT Kanpur, they did a study in 2022. I linked the study here. And in this study, it was said that electric vehicles are not as environment friendly or climate friendly as they were thought to be. And the way the test was done, it showed that okay, there is not that significant a gain in comparison to diesel or gasoline. It was cherry picking at best. And who funded the program? Aramco. Who did the program? Engine Research Laboratory. So you can connect the dots and understand why they cherry picked certain data out of this and misplaced it to confuse the public. And people like Faisal Khan from YouTube, he basically quoted this. Not just him, I'm just saying his name, but multiple influencers, YouTubers, journalists have quoted this specific study to say how bad the CO2 emissions are from electric vehicles. So I'm not questioning the integrity of the study. I'm just questioning the cherry picking that was done in terms of the study. Like what were you trying to say from that one? And media took it up. Media has its own style of reporting. So they take a half-baked story and they made the headline in a very different way. And this is exactly how propaganda works. You want to say that something is not good for you, you create a story that says there is something inherently wrong with it. So CO2 emissions, yes, it is an issue, but it gets offset as you use it. If the energy mix that you're using for your electric vehicle is really good, in the sense that you're using solar or wind power or nuclear, you'll be equalizing with an IC engine really fast. Even if it is coal, you will still be offsetting it, but it will take some more time.